Hello and welcome to Court of the Rings here on twitch.tv/LotroStream, youtube.com/Lord of the Rings/live, and facebook.com/Lotro. I'm Lotro's community manager, Cordovan, and I'm here today on a lovely Friday to show off some pretty cool stuff that is happening in the Lord of the Rings Online. I'll have a little bit about the latest news. We're going to be heading to Bulroar in just a little bit, where I'll show you the Stout-axe, the very first preview of the Stout-axe publicly. We'll do a little bit of Q&A. I think we may continue the instance that we suffered defeat upon last week, and we will also probably wrap things up by at least showing you where to help celebrate Bilbo and Frodo's birthday. So welcome, everyone. We're going to be kind of front-loading the news here, which is what I kind of want to do, so hopefully if you've got some pressing questions or something that I can answer, I will try to do so up front. In the meantime, let me welcome Druid's Fire. How you doing, Druid's Fire?
Yar! I'm doing pretty good, former Hurricane Jerry.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, that's right. I've been downgraded. They finally named a hurricane after me, which is always, a little sensitive. You don't want anyone ever to be injured or hurt or any property damaged or anything like that. But it was the first time that I saw the headline, Jerry is now a hurricane. And I thought that was pretty amusing, so... I'm actually on the Bulroar server right now. There's just a few hours left to check this out if you were interested. The Bulroar preview, our first Bulroar preview of the Stout-axe, first of several, ends at 5 p.m. Eastern today. It is currently 12 p.m. Eastern today. So you have got 4 hours and 58 minutes to check this out if you want to. It'll be back as well in a future preview. This is, clearly part of our Minas Morgul kind of on-ramp, as it were, and we'll have a lot more about that in the near future, but we can't say any kind of further details on the when here today. Runekeeper changes are incoming. I know that the Players' Council has been taking a look at some changes with Vastin, and that'll be, I'm sure, heading out to the wider public through Bulroar in the near future. Mike died. R.I.P. Mike. I'm seeing on Facebook 1 minute ago. Can people hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I can hear you just fine here on Discord.
Maybe I was too loud and I killed the mic. Sorry. Am I too loud? I don't know. I'm trying to rebalance it, because I kind of am working to rebalance the audio on the show a little bit. So hopefully it's better and not worse, but that's always the risk you take. Anyway, so I'm going to be on Bulroar. Let me know, of course, in chat if things don't sound right. And I'm going to show you the Stout-axe. Now, this is a very first preview, of course, so things are early in terms of polish. I'm going to show you probably some of the instance here, so a little spoiler alert if you don't want to see that. But I wanted to kind of show you the Stout-axe in action a little bit through the starter instance. I don't think we're going to run the whole thing today on the stream just due to length and other issues here, but I wanted to at least give you a taste of what it looked like. It's okay now. Mike is alive now. Okay.
How about that new login screen armor set?
Yeah, right. So this is display only. So this is in the character creation screen, but they've updated the armors that are displayed in the character creation screen to just frankly be a little cooler, is the intention, I think. Now you don't get those armors when you log into the world. None of that has changed, but at least for the kind of character select, we were trying to show off our game in a nice light. So here is a good look at the Stout-axe, just kind of a whatever default randomized look it got. I thought the champion looked particularly good in Cairgen here, but if you want to see a helmeted look, you got the Guardian, Hunter, Minstrel, Runekeeper, and oh wait, Burglar. Yes,
Yeah,
you can be a Stout-axe burglar. So that there was a question I know in recent weeks about which classes you can play, and that answer is Burglar, Champion, Guardian, Hunter, Minstrel, and Runekeeper. And let's just continue from here. So I'm going to just hit the randomize button on a bunch of looks so you can just kind of see various looks of the Stout-axe here. Some are, more bearded than others, and they have a bunch of hairstyles as well that are also new. I can kind of tilt the camera a little so you can just kind of take a look. You can see they have like a weathered face. There is as well a... Let's see, where's the body type? There's a body type slider as well to make them, more kind of perhaps skinnier and barrel-chested. You can also then add, to their bottom half and make them more kind of stout. So it kind of depends as to whether you want a skinnier or broader chest at the front and what you want that to be. That is an option. Now this is, like I say, all in preview, so some of this is subject to change a little bit, but let's go with a more muscular looking Stout-axe here for today.
And one thing you didn't mention is you can choose gender, even though they use the same cosmetics due to the lore.
That's true. That's true. Was that on the previous screen? Yeah, male or female. That is, of course, something that has been a very big, particularly kind of forum discussion for a long time now. But it's nice to at least be able to allow people to designate it what they want to. You can see, let me just focus here a little bit on this character model, and I'm going to focus specifically on the facial hair, as you've got, 21 choices here.
I'm liking the beard choices.
Let me make the body type a little skinnier. Let's see if I change the mouth. No. All right. And if you don't want the shadow, that's sort of a, what is that? Not the extra detail. Where was that? Yeah, details. You can remove that, which I'm going to do for the facial hair here. And you can, select a different hair color here as well. Let me go with kind of a different color. Although I kind of like my gray. But that traditional brown looks good too. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Kind of digging that. Match it up with different hairstyles. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there though, because I kind of like where I'm at on my character.
Creates a new character, spends an hour in character generation.
Yeah, right.
But I really do like the wide variety of eye colors and hair colors and the beards. One thing that I've been noticing reading various discords is folks saying how much polish they had, and this is just the first iteration that has been publicly visible. So,
true.
There's been kudos sent your guys' way. How about that?
As you can see, I am, just to facilitate anything I need to facilitate, I am on a admin character. I could never remember. Oh, yeah. There we go. Quick check my Twitch chat settings, make sure everything is good here. I think it's looking pretty good. Let me get to the questions real quick before I move in, and let me kind of zoom in a bit on the Stout-axe while I do so. Actually, can I detach? Yes.
No fair.
There we go. All right. It seems that you sell new hairstyles as a new addition for new races, but that means we will never see new hair facial options into ordinary races? Question mark. The same question for animations as well. I don't think that that would necessarily be the case. There are times in the not too distant past where we've done racial kind of structural improvements and have then had some new kind of hairstyles and that as an addition to that. I don't think it would necessarily be store exclusive. There's obviously better than average odds it might be, but we certainly aren't like structurally opposed to doing some kind of thing that would be in addition to traditional races as well. And I'm pretty sure we've done that in the past.
Chad has a question that I could not find the answer to myself.
You're looking about the vet token to skip the intro. That one I'm not sure on either. I don't know if that's a bug on Bull Roar or what the deal is with that. So why don't we? I'll just table that until I have an answer.
That wasn't what I was looking at.
Yep. In the future, how much would a race change cost? We haven't announced anything about the cost of it yet. Can't do that at this time. Sorry. Any changes planned to the appearance of the female Stout-axe dwarfs? Obviously, like I said, that's a point of but a lot of community contention. We are opting to allow people to designate their gender and keep the looks the same. So the answer to that is, at this time, no. They are shorter than normal. My understanding is Stout-axes are taller typically than dwarves by a little bit and shorter than humans. Am I wrong about that?
No, shorter than normal means shorter than humans and elves.
Okay.
I misunderstood. Yeah. Who's to say that man size is normal? I have a question. If you hit C to pull up your character sheet, what are those extra slots for weapons all about? I couldn't figure it out, and apparently Nettlebrew couldn't either, and other people were like, what are these? They also appear
That
in
is weird.
cosmetic.
Yeah.
It is weird. What are they?
Oh. News to me. Awesome. So I'm sure it's something super secret that is going to fundamentally change everybody's lives. And I'm deliberately not going to tell you about it. No, I have no idea what's going on. I'll have to follow up on that. Presumed it was either something behind the scenes is being displayed accidentally, or something's being changed that I'm not aware of. So, I don't know. Weird.
My personal theory was weapon loadouts, but
yeah, theoretically, I haven't heard of anything like that. I would think I would know, but it's possible that the start of work is underway on something that just hasn't made it to my desk yet, and it happened to leak on Bull Roar or something. So, I don't know. PAVMP changes are good, but why are you doing changes nobody wanted instead of changes everybody wants? Sorry, Phil Newell, for doing changes nobody wants. I know that it's not at all the level of PVMP work that's being requested of us publicly. Hopefully we will be able to do that in the future, and when that time comes, I will be thrilled to let people know about it. At this time, though, we don't have major substantive PVMP work to take place. There's a little change list coming where they're going to be able to collect Stout-axe tokens, basically, whatever you want to call them, and high elf ears, which they currently cannot. So if you've ever wanted to collect high elf ears, now's your chance. A little gruesome, I know, but it is almost Halloween, so. That's true, Achillean 32, at this time we have no plans to work on mounted combat, although I would imagine we would love to do something like that someday. When is the patch to fix the big old boulder in the tower in the Great River? I followed up on that last week, and the answer to that was very soon. I believe a check-in is in place. So I would imagine within relatively near future, I think. I've also heard of no plans to update training dummies on the live worlds. But you know I'm down, so. Okay, so it is moved out of the tower on Bull Roar now. Yeah, so it should be the next game update, which is tentatively planned for, I think, next week. I think next week we have a patch in the works. I know I've been working on some release notes. I don't believe it's even internally set formally for next week yet, but you have to do a little like green light and stuff. But I think next week probably on that. Is it possible to introduce heavy horses, e.g. Shire horses, as mounts, please? Dawn from Facebook asked. That would be cool. That'd be cool.
What class did you go with?
I wasn't
It's a
paying
heavy
attention.
wearing class. I can tell just.
Yeah,
by
I think it's was
colors.
it captain? I think captain
You can't be captain as a
or not
dwarf.
captain.
Champion.
Champion. Yeah.
Yeah, good choice.
I was just looking at the character model. Like I said, it doesn't matter. I'm just playing this for the instance. So.
Yeah, I've got the video. I'm on the dashboard, so I can't see icons. I'm sure there'd be a lore reason why captains can't be there, Iki, and why wardens weren't chosen. I'm sure if you make the argument, Chris Pearson would smack you with the lore.
Yeah, I don't really know the whys on all the class choices that have been made over the years. I'm sure that people would love to know sometimes, but honestly, I don't know why we pick some and not all, and not others. Sometimes it's kind of obvious, but a lot of times it doesn't necessarily seem so much.
Haunton doesn't understand dwarf burglars. Fair. I personally thought they could learn burgling sort of skills simply because of trying to keep out of the way of the bad guys. So, 'cause, if they don't see you, they can't hit you.
I think it's also related lore-wise to the kind of desperation and stuff that they've had to go through. And so when you look at, say, equivalent skill set kind of a thing, there may be reasons why someone would have need of that kind of skill set.
Though I do have to be highly amused that one of the first quests you are given is to kill 10 rats. I mean, that's practically a meme, and because it was embedded in, like, there's kill 10 rats and kill 3 maggots.
Thanks for bringing
like,
that up. I hadn't noticed until now. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well.
It's slick enough that it's not literally only a kill 10 rats, but it's close enough to the meme that it's funny.
Yeah.
Yes, this is indeed brand new content currently in preview on the Bull Roar test server that anybody can access. If you do an exclamation point Bull Roar in chat, it will give you the link on the forums to where you can go to download.
However, let me just kind of caution you at this point that Bull Roar is not open 24/7. It is a temp server that is used for previews. The current preview ends at 5 p.m. Eastern today, so if you were to say start trying to download Bull Roar now, my guess is you're not really going to get much opportunity to preview this time around. It is a separate
True.
game client.
However, you'll be ready for the next iteration of Bull Roar.
Yep, so I'm just showing off a little bit of the new Stout-axe on the instance after kind of talking about some of the things that we've been mentioning regarding the preview and the Stout-axe itself. I would mention as well that Bilbo and Frodo's birthday celebration kicked off at 10 a.m. Eastern today, and let me double check on the end date on that. That is through September 25th, being shut off on September 26th at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. So that would be through next Wednesday, being shut off Eastern Time, early Thursday morning. And that is Bilbo and Frodo's birthday. We'll probably have an opportunity in a little bit here to show you that. The other piece I would mention, and this is kind of a store thing, but it's worth mentioning here, is we have been listening to your feedback for a while now. Let me actually call up the thing I'm going to call up. On Helm's Deep in the Lotro Market. And we have made a brief change here that I'm going to call up just a second. We took away the old priced Helm's Deep item and replaced it with a lower cost item. The only real difference on this thing is that it doesn't have the Lotro points associated with it, which, you know, for ultimately most people were giving us feedback that by this point they would prefer just to be able to buy the content at a lower price point than kind of have it inflated with an extra 1,000 Lotro points. So that is now available in the Lotro market, $20, and you can get the Helm's Deep digital download there. So that just happened, I believe, late yesterday or this morning. So this is new news. Also, you do get an exclusive in-game Rohirrim title and the Halberg of the Hammerhand. So if you in the base edition here. So if you're not familiar with that, this is kind of older stuff at this point. But if it's new to you, you may want to take advantage of that. So up to you. Will the current builds be saved of our characters? If you're asking about are your current characters saved on Bull Roar, the answer is typically no. They're saved periodically, but we frequently do character wipes on Bull Roar for new preview content. So if you really shouldn't consider Bull Roar to be kind of a permanent server in that regard. You wouldn't want to, say, develop a character for realsies on Bull Roar with the expectation that it would be there long term. That's just sort of not its point. However, you can not transfer even, but copy characters over from the regular servers to Bull Roar as well. So you'd have one in each. So yeah, the only difference on Helm's Deep is really the removal of the Lotro points, and then the ability then to price it kind of more in line with what everyone would prefer. All right, that's all that. So I need to break fallen rubble and collect another sullied plate. That should be easy enough. Uh, so there's a question on Facebook about the Amazon Lotro kind of stuff that's been in the news in recent years, and it's really not something that we can talk about. You know, even if we could, I'm not sure we would. But typically, I guess the stock answer to that one is sure, we're aware of it, and we have no concerns that it'll really have any negative impact on us. That's just kind of standard stuff.
Alright, when you get out of combat, can you hit J for me, please? And pull up your traits?
It's not working.
Yours may be rekeyed.
Well, it's probably an admin thing, because I am on an admin character.
Well, your trait sheet will show you the racial traits that you can earn by doing low-end deeds.
Where's my last solid plate?
You can go out of the main room and find some outside.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Chromite is correct. Can't do traits till level 6, so...
Speaking of Chromite, that is another bit of news that is worth mentioning. You found a bug. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of a spoiler bug, so I don't know quite what to say about it, but I think I kind of need to talk about it anyway. The answer is, so if those will recall, we did kind of a special thing here for Durin's Day.
Yeah, Ponton found it.
And Ponton found it. And unfortunately, what that means is that some people got the deed progressed for them just by logging in that should not have. But, you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. We have, however, corrected it. So it will not be doing that in the future, but it is a spoiler, I guess, in that it will allow you to know that, because we hadn't really we had not explicitly said last year that there is a reason to continue going back year after year, if I recall correctly. And the answer is there is a reason why you would want to go back year after year. That is perhaps, you know, newish information to some. Those people were quite surprised when they suddenly logged in to realize that, hey, I got the thing. So what that means for the rest of everyone, now that this bug has been fixed, is that when Durin's Day comes back, and if you do the Durin's Day event again, you'll be rewarded for doing so.
So we can all cry that the fact that Professor Corey was away that weekend and didn't get to do it last year.
Yep.
However, he will be here in about half an hour or so, because he's on Wizardly Standard Time. He shows up when he's supposed to, which may or may not meld with what the rest of us think is on time. Mac Malong asks a very good question. What classes can you play with the Stout-axe?
You should have asked me that when I was on CareGen. I have to log out
Worry
quick.
not. I'll just look it up on the forums. They can play Burglar, Champion, Guardian, Hunter, Minstrel, and Runekeeper. So, of those, Burglar is the only one the regular dwarves cannot do.
Correct.
Because, of course, if regular dwarves could be burglars, why would they have hired Bilbo Baggins?
Is that really true, though? I don't know that I would agree with that. maybe, again, I will clearly default to the lore people, but my understanding was that they picked Bilbo Baggins because Gandalf thought he was the perfect person to do it.
Yes, but if they had already had somebody with burglar skills in the party, they wouldn't have needed to ask Gandalf's help for a burglar.
But just because a dwarf could be a burglar doesn't mean that, you know, no other rate, that's exclusive, or that they're so populous that this particular group could just be like, oh yeah, let me just go to the burglar store and get myself a burglar.
Well, I'm sure you can have a little discussion with Chris Pearson about that later.
I'm just saying. Is that next to the jerk store? Yeah, hey, jerk store called. They want their money back. No, I'm kidding. Durance Day is in October. Correct. Do we actually have that listed on the calendar? I don't think we...
Yes, you do.
Do we? Okay. Yes, it begins on October 18th at 10 a.m. Eastern and runs through the 21st, being shut off on the 22nd at 3 a.m. Eastern.
So what we're basically implying, to use terms from the other game, is Bilbo was a rogue hireling. Ionic, somebody I know uses that as their Twitter handle.
Well, I think Bilbo was slightly taken aback, wasn't he? By, like, I'm not going to burgle anything, wasn't he? Oh, I gotta go back. So perhaps, burglar as a profession is more of a well-known thing. Again, I will defer to the lore experts on that one. So what else could I mention? I think we pretty much have everything covered here on the news at this front. So at this point, it's really just going to be Q&A and all that. So I guess if you're not particularly interested in the show or the news therein, and the idea of watching me do this is like, no.
We still have to
Yeah.
get through a skirmish and not die.
Yeah, that's true. But now that I'm going on this, I need to where do I inspect the clean plates?
At the washing tub.
Where's that washing tub? Do you remember?
Upstairs.
Upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
See, chat, before the show, I told him this would take him about an hour to do, and he didn't believe me.
No, I believed you. I just figured I'd run it until it felt right to stop running it. And then we'd move on to the other thing. And I probably am nearing that point, but I kind of wanted to just sort of finish what I was doing here.
many tasks do you have left?
None. I am here to
Okay.
present myself to Zoreth. And I think I might end it here. Or should I talk to Zoreth first?
Yeah, you can if you like. All it's gonna do is you're gonna be sent off to do some more stuff.
Okay.
Or it'll hint at something really cool.
All right, so let's leave it there then. What I'm going to do now actually is take about a 3-minute audio break to play a track. This is Coming Here with Minas Morgul. And this is by one Bill Champagne, one Darth Celtics. Has a track here to present, so while I'm switching game clients here, I'm going to play it, and I'll be back in about 4 minutes. All right, we should all be back, and people should be able to hear you. Druid's Fire.
Yes.
All right, good. You can hear us. Everything is back there. That was a track upcoming from Minas Morgul. It's kind of, as you can see, it's not 100% like normalized and all that yet. There was a little bit of a loud spot there. I tried to kind of turn it down on the fly, so hopefully it didn't blow your eardrums out too much. But it was awful cool, though, wasn't it? So.
I'm thinking Dark Celtics has been putting some new toys to work for him.
Yeah. All right, so we are in the start of this instance, basically, that we failed upon yesterday, or last week, and this time we shall not. We shall be successful. I will say, in the near future, I am going to do a Valar. I don't know when. It's going to take a while, because not only am I going to do the Valar, but I want to do a little bit of work between doing the Valar and going live, as it were. But it is in the works. So for those of you who are like, how's your flare on this? I'm going to be working on that. Oh, let me turn up the audio. I had the game audio down so that I would not interfere with the Lurverly soundtrack.
Hang on, I've got a big guy here.
What is going on for Bilbo and Frodo's birthday? We should have time to probably get you started on that by the end of the show here today. But if you go into the Hall of Fire, that'll get you started. Yep, in Rivendell.
Hang on, we've got no power.
I know. For those astute and or super annoyed with me for not doing so, you will notice I have slightly adjusted my hotbars. What?
Your hotbars are less important than your rotation.
I know this is all true. This is all true. What can I say? I am who I am. It's just kind of...
Your Popeye?
Yes.
Yeah, Phil Boswell does remind us that there is a free port to Rivendell from Gandalf and the Prancing Pony if you haven't advanced that quest.
You did just miss the Tale of the Shipwrecked Mariner. That went over this past week. Very loosely for Talk Like a Pirate Day. And I was able to run that. It's really kind of a fairly minor event where you go over by Buckland to kind of get started. It's actually... Yeah, it's over by Buckland.
Yep. By the Brandywine Bridge.
Yep. And that'll take you north into Evendim and then kind of back. And you'll get a little cosmetic kind of piratey hat eye patch thing.
And chromite with the asterisk there if you purchase Riders of Rohan.
What?
The port to Rivendell, you have to have the thing from Rohan.
Oh, okay. You are waiting for a long time for an update to Champions. When is that going to happen? The best I can really say about that is that we're doing a whole bunch of work simultaneously. And the goal is to get that, get people's expectations met as frequently and as often and quickly as we can. But this stuff is tending to be done in a way that we aren't like, now we're working on this class, and then we look to this class, and then we look to this class. It tends to be a little bit more kind of less focused than that. The goal is to try to bring up several classes at once when possible, for example. So what that ends up meaning, though, is sometimes work comes out at a slightly different timing than the formal structural work to get it done. Long way of saying, I don't have an immediate answer on an ETA for you, but we are aware that you would like us to do this, and we would hope to get it done in the near future. Can we expect Minas Morgul or some parts of it to be in the next Bull Roar beta build? If I were a Magic 8 Ball, I would return a result of signs point to yes. Clearly we're getting close on that stuff.
You go on. There's a signal horn here.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you? I've got a bunch of stuff attacking me.
Yep. I started the rare encounter. I'll bring him over. Well, I found your dude.
No, I love lore nerdery. I just am not qualified to really get into some of the lore details. That's why we have such excellent scholars for Lord of the Rings Online, rather than...
Yeah, Chris Pearson is scary lord nerdy.
No, he isn't.
Yes, he is.
He's awesomely lore nerdy.
He's scary that way, yeah.
See, I think it's scary as negative, and I don't think that's true.
Alright, we got the optional done.
So I have, yeah, I don't really talk about the movies much, but I was just going to say, because they're, fine films not related nor licensed specifically to our game, but I have been having a hankering to just do a marathon of the entire extended trilogy lately. When was the last time you did that?
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Alright, this is the one that killed us last time.
Will we have a CD version of the music for the next expansion? No. It would highly unlikely there will be a, say, commercial CD release. That was something that was, that was related to, I'm stunned.
Oh, I'm down. Ringalot is rude.
Why can't I revive you?
you did.
Oh.
Thank you, by the way.
They were just noped out of my AoE plan.
Look at you doing a battle res.
I should have done the dancing one. Where'd you get off to?
Follow the red arrow.
When can you expect to see the logo for Minas Morgul? I would imagine in the relatively near future on that one.
Here, please.
Oh.
My warrior
There we
has
go.
gotten himself lost.
Yeah, it's kind of an older quest, right? The Bilbo's birthday
Yeah.
thing?
You guys added something new to it last year to take you to Northern Mirkwood, but that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you've run it before, I mean, this isn't necessarily new and exciting for you, but it is a yearly limited time event. So if you haven't had an opportunity, it's it's something cool to do.
Right, we're going back the old way.
Oh.
Where the heck is the door? I haven't been in here in so long, so let's run around the other way.
Don't worry about the timeout. The guy's fine. Don't worry about it.
Aha. Oh, yay.
Someone was unhappy with the recent support request that they got, and, we apologize for when we don't meet your expectation on that.
Do it yourself.
Spamming Twitch chat, unfortunately, is not going to help you much, but I don't want to be too harsh on you. It's fine.
A Downhand Cake Master.
Yeah. Is SSG a corporation one can buy stock in? No. You're not a publicly traded company. Nor is our publisher, right?
No, Daybreak is not a publicly traded company
Yeah.
either that I'm aware of. I don't think too many game companies are.
I mean, they do,
unless
because
you're
like
like
WB was,
EA side.
Yeah, EA, WB.
Like, if you're that huge, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tarnanglaw is ours, and it is
Woohoo!
to be hoped the Maravile will not.
Sweet. All right, perfect timing. So just to make it easy, I'm going to just do a quick... Actually, can you just teleport me straight to Rivendell? Or we just said we could do that.
Yes.
I might even have a thing here, but why don't you just teleport me straight to Rivendell? But I was just going to go in the collections. We have to do it that way, because I'm lazy. I don't know that the Legendary Items rework was ever very strongly on the 2019 table.
Honestly, I think that would take a lot more work than the kinship update anyway.
Yeah. We did certainly say this year that it's something we'd like to do. But I don't know that we've ever firmly committed that there would be a full Legendary Item revamp in 2019. If we did say lead you to that leaf, then I apologize. But that's not going to happen. So you'll go to the last homely house here. And then you'll hang a left and go into the Hall of Fire.
What's
Such
the name of the
named
book?
because that's where they have Taco Tuesdays.
Oh yeah.
And then you can speak to one Bilbo Baggins here, if you have not. So. Alright, so that is going to wrap up the show then. Thanks very much for watching. We have got Corey Olson, the Tolkien professor, going on next. And then you're on again later this afternoon, Druid's Fire. What's in the works for you?
I will start off in Lothlorien.
Oh, this isn't the birthday quest? Shoot, where is our birthday quest then?
It should be in...
It's Frodo.
In the Shire?
I thought it was in here. God, I'm an idiot. I thought this was it.
Well, Frodo's across the way.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Sorry. Once again, Cordovan gives nothing but bad advice. So, but I'm not seeing this either. Maybe I'm going to have to look up where the... Oh, it's auto-besotted on login. You have to talk to Frodo first. And the reason I'm not seeing is I've already completed it. So.
Yeah, it's a one-shot.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, well, at least we've got that answer. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up with the show then. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. I'll see you next week, and stay tuned for more on LotraStream. You can find the full calendar over on twitch.tv/LotraStream. Lots of players playing, and we have a full schedule right now. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Have fun, Druid's Fire. Have fun, everyone, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.